To start off, I'm going to say I loved Boots. This series is phenomenal. I am praying for a season two because we left off on a pretty big cliffhanger. And it's been a really long time since I have walked like to my couch, sat down, and watched a series like front to back, phone down. Nobody else in the world existed. Like this show, I really think has a reach for anyone. It's not just a show about like military life or Marines. It's like heart and love and brotherhood and racial battles. It's a real show. So, how about we start off by you just telling me a little bit about your character and what it was like to bring him to life?
Okay, yeah. Thank you. My character Santos Santos is a Dominican American from New York, and he's been in, the boot camp program for longer than the rest of the guys. He's been cycled through maybe three times, and he's just trying to finish to graduate so he can get back to his family, who he's doing this for. Very macho family man type.
Understandable. Um, I feel like your character is one of the characters in the show that like does have a big division from the group, being though that he has been through training. This is like his third round, he's trying to make it out, as well as having more on the line, having a family to like look after. What was it like bringing, that type of deep backstory to life?
It's interesting. Prior to shooting, there were a lot of things happening in my personal life that I feel like mirrored a lot of the internal emotional struggles of the character. So it wasn't, too difficult to try to find that. Just because everything that I was going through, not knowing if, I was going to make it to the end of something and trying to hold on and learning to rely on other people. Yeah, it's like Santos and I kind of found each other, and as much as I was trying to bring him to life, I think he was trying to give me a lot of life as well.
There's that in characters. But what I want to ask is, what was it like doing military training? Like, you guys were doing some serious skills there. Like, what type of things did you have to learn during filming?
Yeah, we had some amazing military advisors who were, retired Marines, and they took us through everything. They showed us all the obstacles, stairway to heaven, um, just all the physical training things that you would go through in boot camp, and made sure that we knew how to do it properly and all of that. So yeah, it was tough, and it was in New Orleans in the summer. So it's humid, it's hot, the heat index is crazy, and like, uh, yeah, it was tough, it made us into men.
I can only imagine. I am not, and I'm from Hawaii. I am not made for the humidity in the South or the East Coast. That's a different type of movement. So, and those fatigues, like working, I can't
Yeah.
even imagine. Um, Aside from just like, getting into character, working with actual like people who are training you, was there like any traditions that the cast kind of developed while filming these boot camp scenes to kind of stay in that like military world?
Um, I don't know necessarily about traditions. I mean, listen, we definitely took working out really seriously. There were a few of us that it didn't matter if we worked, 14 hours that day, like we were going to go to the gym afterwards. 1 in the morning, sometimes we were in the gym, just hitting it away. I think that was the main thing, was that we all kind of wanted to be committed to this uh the physical training of like being in this world and doing what we do. Yeah.
That is some dedication because that doesn't just look like training. That looks like war torture. I'm just saying a lot of the things that I watch these boys go through in this show, I was like, this is what what war is? Like, is this what you need to know in the military? Like, in what situations does this come into play? Why would you have to crawl through mud? And I don't know. It was wild. So you guys were out there actually doing this in New Orleans heat. But another thing that I was wondering is how did you guys keep from laughing like in the drill sergeants' faces? Because I swear they said some ridiculous stuff. And I'm just saying, if I'm crawling through the mud, if I'm swinging on a rope and someone is yelling these things at me, I might break.
Yeah. It was, you know, I want to say that it was like, difficult sometimes not to laugh while all that was happening because it was a lot of fun, but man, these actors are some professionals and everybody was very committed to their character and they just embodied those characters so well that you believed it. You were, you didn't want to fuck up at all. You were just like, you were scared to laugh. You were scared to, try to break and whatever. And at the end of the day, like, oh, we're all having a great time, doing our job and what we do. But man, these guys are just good. They're just good. So it wasn't that difficult not to laugh.
You're like, I was in it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm a professional.
Locked in.
I'm a professional.
Well, what's the takeaway you want viewers to get from this show?
The biggest thing, and I'd say the biggest thing and also the simplest thing is just be yourself, find that authentic you. And that is a lifelong journey. So wherever you're at, just be there, embrace who you are and those who embrace you.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Okay, so one last question. Overall, I think Boots is really like a coming of age story. It kind of deals with finding your identity, but also in a high pressure environment, which is this Marines boot camp. Um, Being in your character, what about that character resonated with you? What are you going to take away from this? And being Santos Santos and, identifying with growing up in a high pressure environment.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing that I identify with is the fact that he's Dominican, he's Dominican American as well as myself. So that's the biggest thing. And I think just like in general, in Dominican culture, it just is a high pressure environment. Family life, family dynamics, everything is a high pressure environment. Being not only a Dominican man, but a Latino man in general, is a high pressure uh, position in life. And so, yeah, I mean, bringing this sense of having like the weight of the world on your shoulders and having to provide for your family and show up for your people and do all of that, we're fortunate, Netflix and Sony, and we're all fortunate that, they found a Dominican to play a Dominican. And I feel like um yeah, like embodying that was just it was like meant to be, you know what I mean? It was right there. It was me.
Truly. I mean, learning that you're Dominican, it was made for you. I love that this aspect of the character. I love that in the time frame. Just hearing, one of the first like sentences out of Santos like mouth was, "Oh, I'm American, but like Dominican, so a different type of American." And I think a lot of people, especially in like right now, it is so valid to just remind people like the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, like these are actual US territories. Like they are a part of the USA. These are Americans too. Like Americans come in all different colors, baby. Like these colors don't bleed. So just seeing that like patriotism in that character, but also like you writing for the Dominicans, I respect it.
Absolutely. And the highest honor, like if I can add, like it's just the highest honor for me, that like I am a Dominican playing a Dominican on Netflix. Like that's mind blowing. And I just, I hope that my mom and all Dominicans can be proud, you know, of being in that position.
I'm proud of you. I'm not Dominican,
Oh,
but
thank you.
it's a good series. I think you did a great job. I felt it. So,
Shout out to Boots. Shout out to the Dominican Republic. Shout out to Bad Bunny, who's killing it right now.
oh my God. Best gonna be the best Super Bowl
The best Super Bowl of all time is
of
you.
all times. I'm seriously like looking in like how do I become a dancer? Like there has to be a pathway to become a dancer for Bad Bunny, right? There's
That's right.
always all those people running around.
That's
Happens
right. You got a
before,
few. You just got a few months. Learn to dance and learn some Spanish. You know.
right? I got it. Well, it was such a pleasure. Thank you for talking to me. I cannot wait to see how fans react to Boots as well as your character. And I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You have a great day and follow on Instagram. Nothing suave.
Yes, yes,
Some cool
yes.
stuff on there.